So, given the fact that this particular region has a huge amount of natural resources, so the freight capacities and the freight movements are very well developed as far as the railways are concerned. But passengers, because they are say not as dense as say the northern or the western routes, we don't have so many passenger services. But yet, do you foresee the fact that to develop industry, maybe we could have high-speed corridors or more Shatabdi expresses or higher speed trains as along the lines of the Bhopal Shatabdi, speed in excess of 120, 140 kilometers per hour?
Yes, I agree that there is a slight slant towards the bulk transportation in this area. But then you will agree that the passenger transportation is not neglected in the sense this area connects two most populous cities, that is the Howrah, Calcutta and Chennai on the one hand, and Howrah to Mumbai on the other. Both these trunk routes, they pass through this area. And the number of mail and express and passenger trains, all varieties, including Shatabdis, Jan Shatabdis and the new Durant trains, the numbers are going up. And our doubling or the triple line, they don't cater only to the goods because we don't have dedicated lines only for goods or the passengers. This capacity enhancement also helps running more and more passenger trains.
Is it possible to have an East Coast bullet train?
Oh yes, why not?
It is technically and commercially feasible?
Yes, technically it's feasible. It can be, see right now we run intercity trains which are very well patronized, for example from Puri to Howrah, overnight trains. And it has no even seasonal variations. So these are very popular trains. Similarly, from Bhubaneswar to Sambalpur or from Bhubaneswar to Visakhapatnam. These are limited stoppage, overnight trainers, which are very popular and which cater to the need of the local people.
Great. So finally, we'd like to know, because this is a captive power series of conferences, what sort of challenges do you face in supplying coal to captive power producers? Are there problems in demurrage charges? Are there problems in turning around the rakes quickly? Is it uneconomical to cater to captive power producers of below a smaller size?
Yes, unfortunately there is no system now where the raw material can be transported automatically to the manufacturing sectors. There has to be a via media from say collieries to the power plants, and that via media could be either conveyor belts or by road or by the railways. Going by the experience and the requirement of volume, coal transportation to the powerhouses will mostly be by the railways. Now, railways means you will have to deploy a certain number of wagons, and both at the loading and the unloading end, the turnaround has to be faster. This is not only for the sake of economy, but also for the sake of transportation of volume, because powerhouses, as you know, 1000 megawatt of powerhouses will require about 5 million ton of coal per year. So the volume will be mind-boggling. Today, the Talcher coalfield, for example, is transporting about 25 million ton of coal per year by rail, which is likely to go up to more than 100 million ton if all the power plants which have been envisaged, they fructify. Now to go up to that volume, there will be requirement of infrastructure. All that we tried to submit in the seminar today or before the captive power plant, the prospective the power plant owners is when you are doing your project planning, kindly also factor in the infrastructure planning, including at the unloading and the loading ends.
So is it possible to invite a member of the railways to be part of the project planning, or can they visit?
Yes, normally railways participate in some projects through equity participation, through freight concessions, wherever there is a regular flow of traffic. We have certain models which can be discussed.
So certain power producers feel that if they have invested money in a railway siding, a sort of a private railway siding, still the railways levy certain charges for them to transport the evacuate the coal or into or out of this or out of the system. Certain charges are charged despite the fact that they have paid for the captive power side for the captive rail siding.
So, no, when it is a railway siding, whether it is a private siding or a public siding, there is no levy of additional charge except for the railways freight.
Right.
And railways freight for coal is one of the minimum, as you know, it is as we say, it is class only 150, which is one of the lower side so far as the freight is concerned. And the freight has not been going up for last so many years. So there is a kind of status so far as the freight is concerned, particularly transportation of coal. There is no other charges except in case of detention of the railway wagons, which is beyond the control. Beyond the control again we consider, we give certain consideration, and there are provisions for waiving off. But if it is thought to be within the control of the users and there have been detention to the wagons, there will be some penalty charges. There is no other charge.
One last question, sir. The fact that power producers, people who need to acquire land, they face problems in every state, whether it is private people like the Tatas or whether it is public concerns, etc. Do the railways face such a problem along the East Coast, and if so, how do you cope with it?
Well, there are some problems in the case of railways also. Basically, it becomes a law and order problem when, even if charges have been paid or the whole amount has been paid to the land losers, then a lot of other questions come in about the employment, about raising the cost of the land after subsequent years, even after you have paid everything. There are issues, but then it is all sorted out with the help of the state government concerned. We have a very active dialogue with the state government of Odisha, and issues are being sorted out.